Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. In case you're new here, my name is Sarah. I am an artist and I like combining that with like the fiber world, so I make little fiber notions with art included in it. I also really enjoy knitting, so I share that here on YouTube with you. Today I have a projects video for you. I've got all the things. Before that though, in case you missed it, I posted a vlog last week, so some of these things, if you watched the vlog, you may have already seen. But yeah, I just had a week where I did some knitting and I shared that in vlog form. I also shared my 2025 knitting goals with you all. It was very loose, not a lot of like specific patterns, just an idea of like how I want my knitting to go throughout the rest of the year. I just had a thing pop into my head and now I don't remember what it was. Let us go ahead and dive into the things I have been working on and things I've finished, etc. The first thing I finished was the baby sweater that I gave to my niece. I don't have it here with me, but I have some photos that I can share with you. I knit this out of Lion Brand Woolies, just using some scraps that I had laying around. I didn't really use a specific pattern. I kind of loosely used tin can knits, the free sweater pattern. It'll be in the description box below. But I changed the cast on amount of stitches. I cast on fewer stitches because I always feel like the neckline on that is a little wider than what I prefer. And I also added some short rows to the back, that way it wasn't pulling on little baby's neck. And yeah, I think it turned out really cute. It's adorable. I've already seen her wearing it several times, so that makes me really happy to see that it's getting worn and it's getting loved. Baby sweater, finally finished. Was it there for Christmas? No, but it fits her perfectly. So the other thing I finished, I'm wearing. Now, I have a few things to say about it. Yeah, okay. First, I did not use a pattern. I used Premier's Serenity in the tweed base. It's like chunky tweed, and it's this color. It's like a neutrally oatmeal-y color. It's very nice. I love it a lot. I really like this yarn. It's very soft. It's just 100% acrylic, but it's really cozy. Like when you think acrylic yarn, I know a lot of us tend to think of Red Heart. It's scratchy, it's plasticky feeling. And I just think it's cozy and it's soft. So I'm very pleased with the yarn. And this is even, I threw it through the washer and the dryer as its block because it's going to go through the washer and the dryer. And it is absolutely delightful. Now let us talk about the fit. So the first thing, it's too long. Now I've made a long cardigan out of this yarn, kind of following this like format before, and it was too short. So I was like, I'm gonna make it long enough. And when I tried it on, it was good. And then I like added the hem and it was a little long, but then I added the pockets and just the weight of all this fabric pulled her down, and it's much too long, like probably 2.5, 3 inches too long. It's fine. It's fine. The pockets are too far down now. Like I wouldn't mind it being so long, but now the pockets are too far down where I like feel like I'm like leaning into the pockets, which is not ideal. I like to have my hands in my pockets, like almost resting in the pockets, but just my hands are like hanging and they're barely in the pockets. So the plan is to do sweater surgery. I am standing up for you so you can kind of see a little bit better. It's so long, I have to step so far back. As you can see, I kind of like, here's where the pocket is, because it's probably a little blown out and hard to see. It goes down to like here. So I'm like having to tilt my body to have my hand in the pocket. So if I was to comfortably have a pocket, it would be here, which it was a bit higher. It like when I was trying it on, it was a little low, but it was like here, but then all this fabric, just the weight of it pulled it down. Like swatching and measuring how it was going, it should have hit me just so, but the fabric did something different because I had so much of it. So, I mean, I should have foreseen this, but I didn't. Well, trial and error. I haven't made a cardigan this big before. So, I mean, yeah. My plan. Let's get into my plan. So, I am going to pull out the collar, which wasn't that much work, honestly, because this thing is knit on 8mm needles, so it went really quick. So I will rip out the collar, which is fine because I actually think I kind of want a couple more rows on this anyways. Like, it's good, but it could be better. So I am gonna rip this out, and then I'm going to cut along in here, rip out a section, and then I will Kitchener it all together so the pocket is a little higher, but it still covers my bum, because that's the goal, because my bum gets cold in the morning. So I want it like here, not down there. I want it to scoop and cover my butt, have pockets right up in here. So that's the plan. I'm not upset about this. Like, I know, like, the idea of having to redo something is kind of annoying, but I don't mind reworking it until it works. And thankfully, it's not the problem where it's too short and I don't have any more yarn. Like, I'd rather this problem where it's too big and I have to undo it. I mean, I don't want to undo my pockets and stuff because I could rip back, but that would mean I'd have to redo all of this knitting. So I'd rather undo just this knitting, make a nice clean cut, and Kitchener together. That's the plan. We'll see how it goes. Also, I thought I'd come up a little closer so you could see the buttons. These are my buttons. I do plan on having a restock in February, so make sure you subscribe to my newsletter to catch my next button restock. These are made out of resin, and it has like a tortoise shell look to it. So yeah, I'm very happy with the way the buttons look on it. I won't need 6 buttons when I shorten it. I'll probably only need 5. So I will be losing a button, which is okay because I actually don't want to button it all the way. Like, when it's a little higher, I might use all the buttons. But when it's like a cardigan is that long, like if I were to button it, I wouldn't be able to move my legs. So I have the bottom 2 buttons undone. That way I can walk without feeling claustrophobic. But otherwise, I really like the fit. It has a good amount of ease in it. And yeah, it's just so freaking cozy. And I want to fix it soon so I can wear it around the house. Now, I know a lot of you have been very curious about the pockets and the pocket construction. So I've got a little snippet here that I'll put in of what I did for the pockets. For these inset pockets, I used a vertical seam instead of a horizontal one, so that way the line was on the side. And then I knit back and forth for the front panel, just keeping all the other stitches on hold. And then once I reached the length I wanted, I put those on hold, then picked up those back stitches, knit back and forth to meet the length of the front panel. And then guess what? I did the same with the other front panel. I picked up those stitches, knit back and forth until the length met there. And then I picked up all the stitches and joined together and then just knit back and forth until I hit the length I wanted for my entire cardigan. So I have the front panel and then the back panel. I picked up the seam from the back panel, that opening there. I picked up and then I knit like just one row of plain stockinette, and then I increased towards the bottom hem to create a nice deep pocket, and then I knit straight until I hit the edge or to the length I wanted my pocket. Here's the pocket fully seamed. You can see I've got all the edges sewn down, and then with the stockinette, it looks so good on the inside. Not that you'd see it, but you know, it looks really nice, and it's a nice big deep pocket. I can put my phone and my hands. It's the perfect size. For seaming it, I like to have it flat on the table. It just made it so much easier to seam it down, but I'll pull it up a little closer here so you can see. I went up through the little like valleys or the smiley and then over the little frowny faces and down in. It's important to make sure your stitches are loose and not too tight. So you'll see up through that little smiley face, and then I'll go up through it. We gotta pull that string through. Oh my goodness, that takes forever. Okay, and then see again that little lump, the frowny face. We'll go over that and down through the smiley face. I heard somebody describe it that way one time and it totally clicked with my brain. So that's like how I see them from now on. But anyways, so yeah, I seamed all along the edge and then bam, I had a pocket. Now, if you wanted to make something similar, I would recommend getting the match cardigan pattern from Kadri. I think that would be an excellent option because that's what I loosely based my first one off of. This one I changed up a little bit. I added some short rows to it. So if you got like the match cardigan pattern, you could just add in some short rows pretty easily and then lengthen it. Do those pocket modifications that I showed, which are much easier than one would think. It seems complicated, but it's really not. And honestly, if you mess up, well, you can undo it and redo it again. It's not the end of the world. It's just, I mean, it's a bulky yarn, so it's so easy. If you make a mistake, it's like hardly any knitting you're ripping out. But yeah, I would recommend that, lengthening it. And then the match has a ribbed, oh, help me, button band, which you could definitely keep for like a lengthened, cozier version, or you could do the garter. What I did was I picked up stitches. I don't know how many I picked up. I picked up until it looked like it was like laying nice and even. There's not an exact science to it, honestly. Sometimes, especially when you're changing like the type of fabric you're creating, like here is stockinette, but here is garter. So they're going to react and behave differently. So I can't tell you how many I picked up. It wouldn't really matter because your gauge would be different, and if you're following a different pattern and different needles, all the things. Anyways, what I did was I picked up stitches, and then once I got up here, I started doing short rows. I started short rowing and then like adding length and then going a little further down and going a little further down and a little further down until I got a nice wide collar, which like I said, I think I'm gonna make it a little bit wider, just a little bit, just because I still have short hair and my neck gets very cold. So here it is. I am happy with it. I'll be happier with it once I perform a little surgery to it, but I am very excited about the outcome of it overall. The next item I have to show you, unless you watch my vlog, you will have not seen this before. It wasn't really a planned thing on my knitting list for upcoming projects, but there was a test call from Ozetta for a hat, and I had seen her posting this hat on her Instagram and was like, ooh, that's really nice. I like the look of that. So when the test call came, I was like, yes, please. I would like to do that. So I test knit the North Shore beanie for Ozetta. The designer Haley, I think it's Smedley, but yeah, I love this. I knit mine out of leftover Knit Picks High Desert Wool Tweed, which was gifted to me, just so you know. I adore this hat. It is so good. Now, the pattern itself was so easy to read. It was so smooth. I blew through it. I was thinking that I was not going to be able to accomplish this hat because the test knit was 2 weeks long, which is more than enough for a worsted weight hat. Or I went with the DK version. There's DK worsted Aran in the pattern. But I was like, I don't know if I'm going to have time. Life is chaotic right now. But I cast it on and knit it in 3 days, which is pretty quick for me. So I was very pleased with that. It just kind of flew. It was just the project I needed that weekend. So yeah, I wore it last weekend to Eastern Washington, where it was snowy and cold and lovely. I've worn it quite a few times. It's very nice. Now, if I were to make it again, because I will be making it again at some point. I plan on lengthening this section just a little bit. I knit this size adult small because my circumference of my head is kind of small, but I wanted a little more height because I feel like the one just stood up a little bit more on Haley's head than on mine. It also could be my very fluffy hair. So I do plan on making that modification in the future just to make it a little bit taller because I wanted a nice standing up one, but I have to decide on what yarn I want. There are quite a few people in the test group who were knitting red ones, and I'm not a big red person. I mean, this is reddish, it's rust, but I think maybe something in this color, but just the bright red, everybody's knitting with this bright red, and I'm like, oh, I would probably not wear a red hat, but maybe I would, who knows? It's small enough amount of red, I don't think it would be too intimidating to wear. So I don't know. I want to make more of these though. I think a blue one would be nice. I don't know. I just love the way it fits. It's so cozy over my ears. So North Shore Beanie by Ozetta coming soon. I think in the next few days, but follow her Instagram to stay up to date on when this hat goes live. Let us talk about projects that I've been working on. The first one I don't have to show you because I put it away. I have been working on my Christmas socks. I finished the toe of the first sock, and then I was struggling with, I didn't want to knit on them anymore. Not because I don't want the socks, but I just was done with Christmas. I didn't want to knit any more Christmas things. So they got put into my Christmas yarn bin. I have a few other sock yarns that are Christmassy themed in a little bin in my family room. So those socks got put into there. I just have a foot and a toe to go, but I was like, I can't knit on any other socks until I finish these. And then I just wasn't knitting on them because I didn't want to knit on them, which then kept me from knitting any other socks. So they got put away, which will be okay because then next fall I can pull them out and be excited. Like, look at this, I have almost an entire pair of socks knit. I just have to knit a foot and a toe, and it's gonna be glorious. So I set those aside for now, and then I started working on my mom's sock, and I finished the first sock. Now, I have not really worked on the second one because I want to take this to her to see if it fits her foot. She's been pretty sensitive to the tightness of things lately, so I just want to make sure it fits her before I knit the second one. And if I'm going to tell her, like, be honest, you do not have to like this. And if she doesn't like it, then, well, that's okay. I will just shorten it up a little bit and I will wear them. So yeah, I've got this finished, and then I will start working on the other one soon, but we'll see how it fits on her. I'm feeling so self-conscious right now. I have a neighbor across the street who's out like washing their car, and I like, every time I look over there, they're not looking over here, but I swear I can feel their eyes on me. So self-conscious. I hate being watched or having people listen to me while I'm filming. So awkward. We're gonna plug ahead though. I have been working on my fuzzy sweater. I have finished my first sleeve, and I'm about a third of the way through my second sleeve. Now this hasn't gotten a ton of work put on it, honestly. I was determined to finish this, and then I started that hat, and this just kind of got set aside and forgotten about for a little while, but I got the first sleeve done in like no time, and then I did a little bit of this last night, so I should be able to finish this pretty quickly. I was hoping to have it done by now, but I got distracted by other shiny things. That sweater is not following any pattern. I am knitting out of Drops Alpaca Silk and Holst Garn Coast, which is a wool and cotton blend. Oh my goodness. It is very nice though. I am excited to have that one done so I can wear it. Now this project, I wasn't really planning on working on, but I got it out to take with me on our drive over to Leavenworth, and I started working on it, and then I couldn't stop working on it, and I've been working on it since then. This is my raglan v-neck. I'm not following a pattern. You could knit this like using any raglan v-neck pattern, I'm sure. I think like the Cumulus is similar to this by Petite Knit, but I can draft up a raglan pretty quickly, so there's no need to follow and buy a pattern for it. But I am knitting this out of Lion brand True, which is 100% bamboo. And let me tell you, the drape and the feeling of this fabric is like nothing else. It is glorious. I love it so very much. And this is going to be a night shirt because I have one that I made before that didn't fit right. So I started wearing it at night and I love it. So I decided to make some more. This is the first one I've got going. I have some in a blue yarn and then also a gold, which I'm not sure I'm going to use because the color is not so great. I mean, I'll be sleeping in it, so it's not like anybody's going to see me, but you know, I also just don't like the look of it on me, so we'll see. But I am loving this so very much. I ended up like knitting the rest of the raglan increases and joining it in the round the other day, and then I've just been like putting so much work in on this. It is not the easiest thing to work on because of the bamboo yarn. It's very, very splitty, and it also just like, it's like cotton in the fact that it doesn't have a lot of give, so it's very rough on the hand. So normally I can only knit on it for a short amount of time. There have been a few days though where it's been going pretty quick. It is very hard to keep tension. Like when I hold my yarn to knit, I normally wrap it around my ring finger a couple of times and then I hold it taut with my pointer. But with this yarn, I need to wrap it around this finger 30 times because it's just so slippery. I can't keep proper tension with it just looped around my finger twice. I cannot wait to have that finished though. After I started working on it again, I was like, ooh, I just want this in my wardrobe. So I started work on it and am so excited to have it done. The last thing, no, not the last thing, hold on. I've got a little thing here I almost forgot about. This is a project that should take me literally no time, but I am working on, whoops, a binky clip for my niece. My sister requested some binky clips. She's like, didn't you used to make those? I was like, yeah, I have some of those clips still hanging around somewhere, so you can't really tell, but I'm crocheting a binky clip. I finished one yesterday and sent that home with my brother-in-law, so I don't have it here to show you, but I did finish one yesterday, and then this morning while I was doing some homework stuff with the kids, I was working on that. The yarn I'm using for this one is Paintbox Cotton DK in the color Pistachio Green. It's left over from my crocheted Limonada top. And then the other one I crocheted out of Lion Brand's True in that golden color. Actually, the last thing I've been working on is my blanket. Not a ton of work on this this month. I can't recall if I started this fourth strip. I think it's my fourth strip. But the other day I put like four squares into it. But I mainly wanted to show you because I mainly wanted to show you this yarn right here, which is too bulky for this blanket, but I really wanted it in there. So it kind of comes out a little bit, but it'll be fine. It's just a blanket. But isn't it glorious? It is my hand spun. I will show you the little turtle here in a second. But this is using Craft Me Not Yarn Co.'s colorway. Hold on, let me just grab it and I can show you. The braid, the cottage, and it is a Corriedale. How absolutely glorious is this color? I adore it so much. I wanted these colors in my blanket, so I was like, I need to spin a small bit of this to have in this blanket. Here is the yarn that I spun up. Can't see the top of it because I have yarn wound around it, but how pretty is this yarn? I love it so very much. I spun this on my Turkish drop spindle. It's not the softest thing. It's a Corriedale. It's not what I would call itchy, but it's like rough. It's not something I would want to put in a sweater or anything like that, but I think it's really beautiful for this blanket because it's going to be like a square. Well, I mean, there'll be many squares in this color, but they're just like a little tiny patch, so it's not like the whole thing is going to be like this. So I'm very okay with this. I am also thinking of including it in one of my other spins I'm working on. Let me grab that. I have been working on a spin with Hello Lavender's Summer Blooms color, and I have been spinning it with, I'm doing the other ply in just this beige color. So this is, well, hold on. I'm so disorganized with the spinning stuff. I never know how to share this stuff. But I have the Summer Blooms from Hello Lavender, and then I have this beige color. And then what I'm doing is I'm taking those two, let me see if I hold them in one hand, and I'm plying them together to create this. And I really like the look of it. I think it is absolutely beautiful. My goal is to maybe make a garter stitch scarf out of this. I am thinking though of kind of fading in this color, like having the middle part be like this rainbowy color, and then either end of the scarf having the like green. So I'm very excited about this idea. I'm pretty sure more than enough to keep this going, because I have just one braid of this and then one braid of the Hello Lavender, but I'm pretty sure I had two of this one. So I think that will look really nice. Probably not a like scarf I'd wear like all the time, because I like neutral scarves, but I think it would be super fun. And then my kids can also, I've got merino floof on my lips. My kids can wear it. And if none of us wear it, well then I can gift it to somebody. But I really like the idea of spinning for that. The next things I'm wanting to work on is another hat. I am loving, after working on that North Shore beanie, I was like, I want to make more hats. So I have some of this Drops Alaska that I bought the end of last year, and this is color 71. I really wish companies wouldn't put numbers on the ball band. They would just give me the name. I'm never going to remember a number, but I will remember a name much better than a number. Numbers are so hard to remember. Like when you ever get a code, like you get texted a code and it's like a 8-digit code and you have to enter it in. I swear I can never remember just those 6 numbers. I'm like, I have to repeat it over and over and over again. And then when I put it in, I'm like, nope, I didn't get it. I can guarantee I didn't get it. And I go back and it's like one number is just skewed, or I did remember and I'm just second guessing myself. But I don't like remembering numbers. Color names, on the other hand, that I can do for the most part. Sometimes I can't remember names either. Anyhow, with this hat, I am kind of thinking of sort of using the North Shore beanie. I don't think I have enough yardage though to make that triple folded brim. So what I'm thinking is actually following the crown decreases and the cast on number, but doing like maybe a rib for a single fold and then knitting up and doing the crown decreases. So we'll see, but I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do. Then I have one more thing that I have kicked up yarn for. I cannot wait. The plan is to finish my fuzzy sweater though. I need to finish that, and then I plan on casting on my sibling sweater, my size. This yarn is kind of blowing out, and I tried adjusting, but it's not liking the yarn. This is Woolberry's DK base. Both of these are 100% superwash merino wool. This is the White Way of Delight, and this one is Teakwood by ZZ Textiles. And I love these colors. Look at how ugly this cake is. My ball winder did something weird. Though honestly, I don't have a great ball winder, so it's not surprising that it did something weird. But yeah, I think these are going to be absolutely fabulous together. It's coming up a little more orange on screen. This is a little bit more accurate. That. So I am planning on casting that on as soon as my fuzzy sweater is done. And then I'm kind of thinking of doing a very casual knit along. My thought for this knit along is maybe doing like an Instagram group chat, and the knit along being for casual, comfortable knitwear. So whatever that means to you, to me that means sweatshirty like knitwear. I mean, to you, if you're most comfortable in a lace sweater, then knit a lace sweater. But like for me, it's sweatshirty like things, something that's comfy, cozy, and I can just be full-blown home comfortable in. So let me know down in the comments if a casual knit along like that sounds good to you, because if it does, I might work on setting up a group chat. Now, group chats do tend to overwhelm me. So it would be very, again, casual. It would not be heavily moderated by me because, well, I'm bad at reading through like long blocks of text, and if it ends up being super chatty, I may end up missing a lot of stuff. So I'd rely on all of you who would participate to be respectful and good and moderate each other in the most kind and respectful way possible, or reach out to me and say, hey, this thing is going on. But anyways, that is if anybody's interested. If you are, let me know down in the comments and I'll work on figuring out how to set that up. So yeah, it would be on Instagram, and yeah, be so casual. No prizes, no nothing, just kind of building community and knitting things that make us comfortable and cozy. This week for community shares, I thought I would share just some pretty patterns that I've recently seen. Now, I didn't look at all the specs for any of these. I literally just saw the photos and was like, that's pretty, let's share. So just go into that with the knowledge that I don't know anything about any of these patterns, whether they're well-written patterns, whether they're size inclusive, whether they are by reliable pattern writers. I don't know. I just, again, saw the photos and was like, that's pretty, let's share with everyone. The first one is the Darjeeling, that's really hard to say with my trays, and blouse by Trust the Mojo. Is quite the name, not gonna lie. But I really like the look of this t-shirt. It has a nice V. The sleeves are like absolutely beautiful. It has like this little lacy detail along the hem and the sleeves and the buttons. I love a button-up V-neck. Absolutely glorious. I think it would be perfect for spring, maybe even into summer, especially if you knit it out of something like a bamboo. Like that true boo would be really nice. So I don't know if it's a DK weight pattern or not. I think, if I recall, it may have been a sport, but I'm not sure. But I think the gauge would work out with that true boo yarn. Another one is the Washington Beanie by Nancy Bates. Oh my goodness, this beanie is covered in trees. It's called the Washington Beanie. I love it so very much. Of course, I live in Washington, so of course I'm naturally gonna like it. And it's got trees on it. I love trees. I think it should just be knit how they knit it. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Or maybe a black top with like, you could stitch in like little stars or something. How cute would that be? You could have a night Washington beanie and then like make another one and have a daytime one or something like that. Or do like a his and hers type thing. I don't know, but I think it's really pretty. This next one is the Iris by Trin-Annelie. I'm not sure if I got that pronunciation right. I have seen this sweater all over Instagram. I swear every time I hit my search or anything like that, this pattern pops up and it is just so beautiful. The color work on it is stunning. Every time I stop and I look at it, which is pretty like cool to say, because I'm telling you, when we scroll, we have a tendency to just go by things so quickly. But this one, every time, makes me stop. It is so beautiful. If I didn't hate color work so much, I would add this to my list right away in the exact colors. It is gorgeous. This last one is by Joanna Ang. It is the RibWave. This one made me stop in my tracks as well. I love the shape of this sweater. It's a regular sweater, but it's got a V-neck, but not an open V-neck. This like solid V-neck look is so pretty. I like the shape of a V, but it's kind of chilly. Like, I feel like that's what a lot of us come to find. Like, I have a couple of V-neck sweaters that I wear, but usually they're for like a special occasion, and like they're not like a cozy up type sweater because you have all this skin exposed. But I love the look of a V-neck. So the idea of having a V-neck, but it's got fabric in there, is just brilliant. I love it. It's like got this, it's like a statement, but like cozy still. Like, how fabulous is this? I would consider knitting like something like this, because again, I've knit V-necks and I don't wear them very often. It's for this thing or that thing, I'm going here or going there, and I want like a fancier sweater, so I wear the V-neck. But this is so good. I feel like it could be cozy at home or dress it up. So yeah, that one also made me stop in my tracks. That is all for like the community share stuff. Are there any like new patterns or things you've recently stumbled across that have made you stop in your tracks? Because those are probably the 4 that I've been just like, whoa, look at that, it's so pretty. But oh, I'm a little tired, hence the dramatics. But yes, those ones made me stop in my tracks, and I'd love to know if there are any recently that have made you stop in your tracks. I think that is all I have to share today. I have some art, but not art that I can share with you because they're worky things that are coming up, and you know how that goes. I feel like I'm forgetting something, a project or something I wanted to mention, but it is what it is. And then I don't think I have a whole lot of like personal things to share, because it's just, we've been lifing, doing normal life stuff. I guess like what we've been watching and stuff. We just finished the show on Amazon called Mr. and Mrs. Smith. There's just 1 season and it was pretty good. I enjoyed that one. My husband wasn't a fan of the ending. I didn't mind it so much. So yeah, you'll either like the ending or not like the ending. But I didn't mind it. I thought it was pretty good. And then what else have we been? We haven't really been watching. Oh, we're catching up on Abbott Elementary. Really love that one. And we have not watched the newest season of Only Murders in the Building. So we're gonna probably start that one tonight. Cannot wait to start that again, because loved the first 3 seasons. I think we watched the first 3 seasons. And then reading, I haven't started reading anything new because I'm waiting on things from the library. I am so far in line for the books. So I haven't really consumed any books lately, which is making me a little sad. I really want this next series, and the waiting is killing me. But maybe it's a good thing to have a little gap between my last series and this series. I don't think I have anything else to share. Like I said, life is just life. It's not a whole lot of exciting things happening. So yeah, I'm gonna go get to some things. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't, I would really appreciate a like and subscribe. And then you can catch future videos, because there will be more videos, and then you can keep up to date on them. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.